Hey guys, and welcome to Blockchains Unchained, your go-to channel for the latest insights on all the blockchain projects, brought to you by the VC firm ICONPLUS Capital. I'm Layah Heilpern. Joining me on the show today, we have Elie Le Rest, the CEO and founder of Colony, the community-driven Avalanche ecosystem accelerator, powered by Colony's CLY token. Hi Elie, welcome to the show. How are you today?
I'm great. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, it's good to speak with you. This is a very trending topic. Avalanche is very popular right now, so I'm excited to understand how and where you guys fit into all of this. So before we delve into it, just tell me a little bit about yourself. How did you get into crypto? What's your background?
Yeah, sure. That'll be a pleasure. So I've been in crypto since 2013, at first as an individual investor. And then I started to build some businesses in the space starting in 2017. So initially I have like a financial background. So I've worked at big companies like Crédit Agricole, UBS here in France, in Paris, but also in New York. And so as I was saying earlier, like starting 2017, I did some projects in the space. Was part of the VC firm, investing in blockchain, investing in equity, but also in tokens. I created some arbitrage strategies between different crypto platforms. And early 2019, I co-founded Exo Alpha, which is a systematic quantitative hedge fund. We have a directional long-short approach on Bitcoin and Ether. We're trading about $500 million trading volume per month there. So pretty established business. We have a strong partnership with Tokenomics Capital, which allows us to be FCA regulated. So offering this sort of investment to institutional investors. So I've been quite around in the crypto space. And yeah, so that's my story. I reached out to Ava Labs starting beginning of this year because I was really impressed by the entire platform, the consensus, and also the entire platform. I think the subnet functionality is going to be quite amazing, and we're going to see some incredible growth on Avalanche because of that. And so Avalanche is just getting started, and I understood that quite early. And the idea of Colony is to be able to foster that growth even more by having a community-driven approach towards early stage investments, liquidity providing, staking, and much more. So yeah, I'll be glad to talk about it with you.
Yeah, so let's just go into it. Can you just explain to me the value that Colony Labs would look to add to the Avalanche ecosystem, and just generally what you guys do and why you're unique?
So the idea of Colony is to deploy capital within the entire Avalanche ecosystem and Avalanche only. So we're going to provide capital to early stage projects. So we already started to do so. We're also going to provide liquidity to early stage protocols to help them grow TVL, and also going to provide some liquidity to well-established protocols to maximize yield. We're going to have a stacking part. So at first, we're going to buy AVAX and stake those AVAX. And then, so the idea is to validate the network. And then as the subnet functionality goes live, we'll also be able to validate those subnets if we are allowed to. But yeah, the idea is to have like this stacking capability. And we're also going to have an index of the top 10 project by market cap in Avalanche. The idea is to have like a broad exposure to the entire ecosystem here. The unique thing about Colony is that this capital deployment will be community driven. So we will have like a token, and people with that token will be able to vote on governance mechanism. Like they will be able to vote on where we should allocate capital, and they will get rewarded for that. So basically, you the capital deployment back to them. So by staking Colony, you will earn AVAX staking rewards. You will also earn Colony token if you're actively participating in Colony's governance. And lastly, and most importantly, you will be entitled to some airdrop of very promising project building on top of Avalanche that Colony is supporting.
So I want to delve into this a little bit more, because obviously you have the CLY token. So where does the value of that actually come from? What are the tokenomics?
Yeah, sure. So Colony token, there will be like a fixed supply. The idea is that people will be able to go on centralized and decentralized exchanges to buy Colony token. Then they will be able to come on our platform, stake those tokens. So stake this token, and if they are staking a minimum amount of token for at least 20 days, then they will be able to have access to the entire all the functionalities of the application. And so there they will see the entire deal flow that is inside Colony. They will also be able to upload new project to have even like a bigger deal flow. People will be able to upvote the project that they like inside that deal flow. And the idea is to be able to figure out what are the best projects at very early stage. Then people from the Colony community will be able to do some analysis on those projects. So Colony is building all the tools to do so. And then at the end, some investment decisions. And so the idea is to then be able to deploy some capital in those promising projects. So that's Colony's application. The unique thing about it is that it's very inclusive, meaning that like almost everyone can participate. You just have to buy some Colony token at first and stake them for quite some time. But it's like a DAO structure, but very inclusive. So if you look at other DAO, usually they are very exclusive. If you look at the Layah on Ethereum, for example, you need to stake at least, you need to have at least 300 Ether to participate. So it's very exclusive. And Colony is way more community driven. And we want to be able to welcome everyone. So that's about it.
And you mentioned deal flow there, so I do want to go into this a little bit. What is the expectation, the volume and the structure in place to actually support it?
Yeah, so the deal flow is an important part for sure, because early stage, like supporting early stage projects will be 50% of Colony capital deployment. So like our biggest job actually. So to be very effective at that, we have strong partnership inside the Avalanche ecosystem. So as you already probably know, we have the Avalabs through the Avalanche Foundation as a seed investor. We have also Avalanche and some other projects from the Avalanche ecosystem. So Avalanche, for example, the Launchpad has a lot of deal flow. They're sharing that with us. We're sharing also some deal flow with them now. We are also working with Avalabs on that. So that's one part of the story. We in the future, as the application is live, people will actually be able to put their own project on our platform. So if you are, for example, like a young entrepreneur and you are starting to create like a project, if you buy just a few Colony token, stake them on the platform, then you will be able to upload your own project on our deal flow. And then it will be up to our community to decide if this project is good enough for Colony capital deployment strategy. So it's really, there will be two things. The connection of Colony's core team inside the Avalanche ecosystem, which is already quite substantial, and also our own community that will be able to provide that deal flow directly.
And how many contributors do you expect to actually have within the next, let's say, 12 months?
I think that the growth of Colony right now is already pretty impressive. We started from nothing 2 to 3 months ago, and now we have like more than 4,000 people on our Telegram channel. All of that growth is very organic. There is no boat or like boats there. It's really organic. In terms of Twitter follower, we reach 11,000 now. Same thing, starting from 0 2 to 3 months ago. So I think that's the people that are following us quite closely, and they will be using Colony in the future. That being said, we in terms of token holders now we have some VC firms for sure, but alongside with that, we already have part of our community, and we're still onboarding part of our community, even though the private sale is now closed for more like institutional investors. So we're going to have, just for the private round, more than 2,000 people, holding Colony token from a private sale, and probably close to 3,000 people. So that's already quite some adoption. And then as we're going to launch on Avalanche in a few weeks now, we will be able to have even more people involved. And then, as people will be able to buy on several exchanges, that will also foster the growth of our user base.
I'd like to talk a little bit more about the public sale. So could you give us more information on that and how people can actually participate?
In regards to the public sale, so we already announced that it will take place on Avalanche, so the launchpad of the Avalanche ecosystem. Right after that, we're going to have an IEO on MXC, and we're going to announce that quite shortly. And then several centralized exchanges are lining up to be able to list Colony at early stage. I mean, like right after TGE. So a lot of centralized exchanges are really like Colony, and we're going to move forward with some of them. And right after that, some decentralized exchanges will be able to also support Colony token. So the idea is at first to build like a healthy price for everyone. The idea is to go on centralized exchanges and then decentralized exchanges. So yeah, that's about it.
So given that you have all these exciting things planned over the next few months and few years, talk to me about the roadmap then from, let's just say, 6 months from now to a year. What exactly can we expect? What milestones can we expect?
So in terms of the roadmap here, right after the public sale, people will be able to come on our platform. The platform will be live to enable them to stake Colony token. So that's one thing. As Colony is aiming at doing a lot of so the idea is to end up with a fully like a full DAO system. We know that it's going to take time for us to build such a thing. So the idea is really to at first have this sort of a bit of centralized approach and then decentralize everything over time. So for example, the staking mechanism will be easier than the early stage program to decentralize. So we're going to release like month after month new version of the application. I mean, new features of the application. So at first it's only going to be staking. People will also be able to claim their Colony token depending on their vesting schedule. And then we will release more features like staking, like the staking rewards, like the early stage investment mechanism, things like that. So it's going to be, decentralized over time. Colony core team is already doing quite some work behind the scenes to start the entire process here. So we already started to invest in some projects, provide liquidity to some protocols. The idea is to kickstart the mechanism and for people to enjoy initial Colony rewards once we are live. in December.
Well, I'm very excited for that. I've been following Avalanche a lot recently, and there's just so much innovation happening on that platform. So, you know, it's going to be fun. Absolutely. So, Elie, I want to thank you so much. It's been a pleasure learning more about Colony.
Thank you very much for having me. It was my pleasure as well. And I would like also to say a few words to thank our community. We're very glad to have this kind of support inside the Avalanche ecosystem, and we cannot wait to be live and engage even more.
Thanks for watching, guys. And if you want to find out more information, then just head to their website. It's colonylab.io, or just follow them on Twitter.